So it's an opportunity to perfect the sense of legato. So I'm standing on my second finger, and now I'm going to press my third finger in and really not let go of the second finger standing until I'm totally standing on the third finger. And when I do that, then I see, oh my God, when my two fingers really become totally responsible for a really evolved physical legato, then the thumb does feel like it could let go. And maybe it's still trying to jump around, but it at least feels, oh, actually, I don't really need to jump around like that. So now would you lay your hand on your knee like this, and notice that this harpsichord arch, the transverse arch of the hand, it's basically horizontal. This knuckle and this knuckle are equally equidistant from the floor, or from the keyboard. It's not tilted this way. But when you bring the thumb in here, then that tilts the hand. So the instant we introduce the thumb onto the keyboard, there's a natural tilting of the hand. That's just like if you just shove that bone in there, then it's going to tilt the hand that way, right? So what do I do about that then? Do I abandon my sort of horizontal, nice, evenly arranged and symmetrical harpsichord arch and learn to play with the hand more turned over to the side? Or do I bring my hand up into fifth finger orientation where there's a line down here, and with the thumb going out to the middle like a flying buttress support strut? Or do I learn to go, you can do these while I'm doing it, you can go between these two extremes in a functional way where I sense the structure of my hand in standing with a flying buttress thumb, and I sense the structure of my hand when it lies down on its side and allows the thumb to curl in here. So you see, this lecture's about the thumb, but it incorporates elements from all the other themes that we're looking at, legato and the structure of the hand's arch. Does that hand's arch become any less structural or functional when it lies over on its side? Yeah, that one. Not this one. This one. Yeah, right. So now, lying on its side, touch your thumb to your second finger, and then touch your thumb to your third finger, and then touch your thumb to your fourth finger, and then touch the thumb to the fifth finger. And just sense, is that a familiar feeling for you? And not to the fingertip. It's not this. This is taught often as a way to teach children to curl the fingers and sense the power between 1 and 2. But I modify that. I do not touch the two tips. I touch the two pads, and I'll actually touch the thumb pad to, let's say, the crease between these two joints, between these two phalanges. Or I'll touch the thumb pad to the underneath of the medial phalange. I'll touch the thumb pad to the third medial and the fourth medial, like that. Now, is this unfamiliar to you, or is it familiar? Do you feel your arm let go when you touch here and then just rest the hand? This is a wonderful way of involving the thumb in scale playing, which if you play a scale and go, I'll do it on the keyboard, so you can see, da, da, and then now look, I just touched the thumb here, and look, it's ready to play its next note. I did not do any swiveling. I did a natural rotation. I rotated one way, and now to play my thumb, the hand rotates the other way. So there's actually this rotation going on to get my thumb where it needs to go in the scale. And yesterday we discovered something fascinating, which I'd never really figured out before. It was really cool. And that is that in Tai Chi, there's a counter turn. In Tai Chi, the basic movement in Tai Chi in the walking is shifting the weight from the back stance to the forward stance. So this is my yang leg, this is my yin leg. If you've seen my film, you know about it. Now this is the yang, this is the yin. And so this, to start the shift, you don't push off the yang leg. The first thing you do is that you begin to bend this knee. This knee empties out, and that starts a flow. You see, I'm not pushing off this leg at all. I'm flowing over to that leg. And now when this leg straightens, it maintains contact with the floor. Right? I never pushed on that leg to get me over here. Now I bend this knee, and then just my weight naturally flows forward into that bend, and then this leg just straightens. I bend the knee, and then I flow, and then straighten that leg. I bend the knee, flow, and straighten that leg. Now, the basic movement is the pelvis goes like this. The pelvis goes like this. You see, there's a turn this way, and there's a turn that way. But look, when I do it that way that I just showed you, you bend the knee, the pelvis goes the other way. You bend the knee, the pelvis goes the other way. It's the counter turn. Boom, counter turn, and then flow.
So there's sort of a lift out.
Counter turn, flow. Yeah, it's kind of a lift. Yeah. But you don't try and lift because then that takes strain. It's just, it all happens because bones fold and unfold. Bones fold and unfold. And so there I rotate the thumb to play it, and then I rotate the thumb to play it. But this movement here is the counter turn. You see? The counter turn, rotation, counter turn, turn, counter turn, turn. So, counter turn, turn. Going the other way, there's also a counter turn. We discovered we were doing this actually, right? And we discovered that here, what everybody does is that they reach the thumb out towards the C. And the more they reach the thumb out towards the C, then the more they're going to try and actually drop this knuckle to get the thumb to, I can't even imitate it for God's sakes. There. Okay, now my thumb's got to get to C, and it's very far away from C, so I'm going to drop this knuckle to get the thumb to a C. That's like the worst possible way you could have figured out of doing it. Like, who dreams up this stuff? So, but it's, of course, it's logical because you don't involve the arm, but if you involve the arm, then you could use the arm to bring the thumb here, right? So already you've solved the problem of the collapse of the thumb. Of the second knuckle. You can do a further thing to make it even more elegant because the thumb likes to work on this arc. Now many times, you see the problem with the thumb is that the fingers go like that, and that's a vertical movement, and the keys move vertically, so that's very convenient. The thumb's natural movement is sideways, right? It has this other movement which is oppositional, which you see the thumb goes through this big arc. Okay, I can make the thing a little closer now. It goes through this big arc. And so actually what's happening when the thumb depresses a key is a vertical movement. It's not really a vertical movement. It's actually just that part of the circle which is the most vertical. You see, so there's one part, if it's a big circle, and there's one part here that's virtually vertical. And that's the part that you use to make the key go down, okay? Now you notice it looks like I collapsed this. I just did this thing and it looks like I collapsed this, but actually I did not collapse it. It's not that. When I bring that down, it's still potent and it's just approaching the thumb, but it's not going into what I call pianistic codependence. Does everybody feel familiar with that term, pianistic codependence? Anybody not familiar with it?
I don't know what you're pianistic.
That's your second year, for God's sakes. You watched the DVD? Have you ever watched my DVD?
Yeah, but I'm trying, last year.
Chapter 4, yeah. Anyway.
Shame.
It's where the thumb tries to help a weak arch.
Oh, yeah.
And then the arch tries to help the thumb by collapsing further to get the thumb into its note. And they're codependent. They're trying to help each other, but they're actually perpetuating a problem. What they need to do is individuate. Right? That's pianistic. And now this is not pianistic codependence. My arch followed my thumb down, but my thumb was still functional and individuated from the hand, and my arch did not collapse. It just followed my thumb down. And you see it's still potent above the thumb. Very important detail. Now, so there's this counter turn, which happens for going scales inwards, arpeggios inwards. We already did the counter turn for scales going to the outside, or arpeggios going to the outside, is this. Is achieved by touching the thumb to the underpad of the finger, right? Going inwards, I do the counter turn like this. I don't just put my thumb here, I come here and I do a counter turn. And look, the counter turn empowers my thumb to do its natural arch motion. So I'm here, and now I counter turn, counter turn, counter turn. And by the way, the counter turn brings this thumb second finger differentiation into wonderfully highlighted. It highlights it wonderfully. Jesus. Yeah, the grammar just breaks down at a certain point. It's just like, they're different. I don't know. And then you see there's this rotation going on, but it has a very specific organization. It's the choreography is really quite precise. So here, the counter turn is this way. And the sort of the rudimentary form of that, the counter turn in scales and arcs going to the outside, is this idea of that we don't put the thumb under at all, we put the thumb over. Has anybody ever come across this? Put the thumb over. Yeah. Put the thumb over. Yeah. Right? So that's the counter turn. And it's very, very convenient. It's a wonderful way of thinking of it. This is also, because you see, the trouble with that one is that it inadvertently gets the thumb into a kind of codependent position, right? Now look, I'm not actually codependent, but one might be forgiven for thinking that I am. However, this one, touching to the underside of the pad, it gives the same lovely counter turn, but it actually looks a little bit more like putting the thumb under. It's actually not putting the thumb under. It's bringing the thumb to the underpad of the finger, achieving a counter turn, which allows you now to rotate in. Now, when you rotate, make sure it's not just the arm and a dead thumb. It's the thumb is alive. The thumb is rotating because the thumb's natural path is through an arc. So the thumb rotates and the arm supports it in that.